So eBay is impact font. So the font impact, if you don't know what that is, just search for it. A couple of things. If this is not at the top, if you don't have these options at the top, make sure that you click Window Workspace Automation. That has to be checked. If it's Essentials, there's nothing there. So we want to make sure that it's Window Workspace Automation, and then also make sure that you have all your tools to check that window toolbars advanced. So make sure that advanced is checked. Okay, so if you look at the eBay logo, you'll notice that it's lowercase, 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 uppercase. So those are the things that you need to pay attention to. So I'm going to just type in eBay here, lowercase, 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 uppercase. So I already did the E and the B. This is impact. So here's my fonts. Okay, impact, or you could search for it. Obviously, that E does not look like that, and that B is different, and the A is slightly, but it's the closest thing you're going to get. Okay, so I'm just going to do the A and the Y. So the first step, just like before, is you are going to make them an outline. So type, create outlines, and then object, ungroup. So now these are all individual letters. I am going to switch this to stroke so I can see the outline. I did these already, so I'm going to just move that over there. And now I'm just going to move over to the A and the Y. So the same steps as before with the vans, you're going to just take it and you're going to adjust left, right, top and bottom. And you can tell that this is a lot more off than the Vans logo. So the first thing I like to do is I like to simplify and get rid of some of these points. So there's two options. You can first smooth it out and then we'll delete some points and simplify it, or you can also go here to delete anchor point to delete some points. I'm going to start with the smooth tool. I'm just going to drag it along the curve and you'll notice that it got rid of like 4 points. So that's going to make it a lot easier. I'm going to do that here. Just drag it. It got rid of about 3 points there. And sometimes you got rid of it. Okay, that's good. The more points, the more complicated, but also the more precise. But sometimes you don't need all of them. So I don't need 2 points right there. So I'm going to take this one and delete that. And I'll fix that adjustment. I'll adjust that later. A lot of points here. That makes it a lot harder. So I'm going to take the smooth tool and drag it. And right now it looks like a mess, but it's okay. So this is now where you are going to adjust, and you're going to take the direct selection tool or the white arrow. So white arrow activates white points. Click away, click on it. And here is now where I can now adjust these points. First, I'm going to place them before I adjust them. I'm just going to place them on the edge so that way it's as close as it can get. And now I can go back and adjust the handles and the smoothness. I forgot this one. So I'm going to move that one here. All right, so we'll leave that like that. Now I'm going to go back, and here is where I'm going to adjust the handles. Pull, pull, bring this up. Okay, so here, pull this handle. And how I smooth it and how you smooth it, it's not always going to be exactly the same. So you're going to just have to figure it out. This one is a big pull. This handle's hiding. There we go. I can go back and smooth this out a little bit. There we go. Bring this one down slightly. This one could be smoothed out just a bit. It's pretty good. Okay, so there's my A, and I'm going to just click it on the stroke. I like to hold shift and drag it down. If you don't know exactly where it's supposed to be, sometimes I put these back. And then I align there. Yeah, that's good. So grab all three now and bring that down. Okay, and then I'm going to take the eyedropper and yellow. So obviously you can tell that the yellow is not opacity. So you need to make this transparent. So you need to open window transparency. Make sure it's checked. Mine's right here. And then you're going to change your opacity. So it doesn't have to be exact. I have it always between like between the 70s and the 80s. It's not going to be exact. As long as I can see that the B is coming through, we're good. Okay. And then the last one, we're going to do the Y. Same thing. We're going to grab that, first adjust. Left, right, top is good, bottom. So very wide now. It's easier with this. There's no curves. So I'm just going to take the direct selection tool, pull those points where I need to. It's always easier with the block letters. Slightly off. Okay, same thing. I can grab all of these and align it to make sure. Grab it all now down. Click it. I drop this. Go to transparency. Somewhere, it's not an exact number. Somewhere between the 70s and the 80s is really up to you. Okay, so that way now you can see all of this. When you do your first E and B, I'm going to show you something. Your E might be behind it. So since I did not create a layer for each one, they're all on one layer. So it's going to be in the order that it's not going to be where I want it to be. So I'm going to, if that is behind your B when you first start, you're going to go to Object, Arrange, Bring to the Front. And then that will bring that E to the front. I'm going to now release this template so I can see the actual colors. You can see it's a little bit off, so I'm going to make this E a little darker. Look in the 80s. I can see through. B's good. A could be, oh, sorry. A can be also a little darker. And Y can also be a little darker. So somewhere between in the 80s, 70s to 80, you know, in the 80s, 70s or 80s. It's not going to be exact. I just want to know that I can see through these letters, just like you can see through these letters as well. Okay, so when you're done, File, Save As, eBay Practice. Make sure that it's Illustrator. If you are on a personal device, save it to your desktop. If you are on the VPN, you are going to save it to your Google Drive. And save.